Hello and welcome back. In this video, we are going to explore loops in Python, including the for loop and while loops. Loops allow you to execute a block of code multiple times based on a certain condition or conditions. So let's begin. Let's create our new file here and we will call this loops underscore for underscore while dot py. We'll give ourselves a title. Okay. And let's have a look first at the for loop. Okay, so the for loop in Python is used to iterate over a sequence such as a list, tuple, or string. It executes the code block for each element in the sequence. Let's take a look at an example. So let's create a variable here called fruits. And we'll create a list, square brackets, and we'll fill this list with some strings. Apple, banana, and you may have guessed orange. Okay. Now let's create our loop. So to define a for loop in Python, we use for, and we want to create a temporary variable fruit. So it's not fruits, it's just fruit. We want to have a look in fruits, which is our variable here. And then we'll put a colon, hit enter, and let's print fruit. We want to print this variable here, this temporary one. And yeah, let's run the code and see what happens. Great. So we can see that we printed apple, we printed banana, and printed orange. And they're all on new lines. If we print a list just as a list, let's give it a go. Fruits, run. We get back the list. But on the loop, we can see that Python got to this line of code here, and it said for fruit. So the first iteration was apple, so it printed apple, and then it went through again, banana, and again, orange. So as you can see, that is a loop in Python, and it executes the sequence until it finishes. You can also use the range function with a for loop to generate a sequence of numbers. The range function takes up to 3 arguments: start, stop, and step. Let's take a look at an example. So we will do for I as our temporary variable in range 0, 5. We do 0 because you may remember that the index starts at 0 in Python. And we will print I. I'm just going to get rid of this for now. Okay, so let's run. And then we got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It got to 5 and it stopped. So that is how we can generate numbers in Python, and we can use a loop to loop over those numbers also. So let's remove that for now. This. Okay, there's also another type of loop in Python, and that is the while loop. So let's do a title. The while loop in Python is used to execute a code block as long as a certain condition is true. Let's have a look at an example. So if we do count equals 0, and we will do while count is less than 5, print count. Now we also need to do count plus equals 1. Let's run it and we'll explain what's going on. Great. Now, if we did not put this line here, we would enter into an infinite loop because the count would never go up and it would always be under 5, which means it would never stop running. So do be careful with that. So while loops are checking is under 5, then print it. As soon as the count gets to 5 and it's equal to 5, it will stop, it will break, which is what we wanted to do here. So if we wanted to do 9, we could do that, and it would go all the way up. And if we just done 2, we get 0, 1. Great. So what we can actually do here as well, no, that's fine, but it is important to ensure that the condition in a while loop eventually becomes false, so we don't enter that infinite loop. Creating an infinite loop is, yeah, of course not recommended, but we can use a break statement as well. So let's have a look. So let's expand on this. I think let's do if is greater than or equal to 5, break. But let's remove this. So while true, so while true, print count, colons here. I have a capital letter, there we go. So while true, print count, and then we'll increase the count number and for each iteration. And if the count is greater than or equal to 5, we'll break, which means the loop will stop. So yeah, that's a for loop, which iterates over a sequence, and you can execute code within that each time you iterate over an item. And the while loop will continue to execute the code block whilst the condition is met, and once the condition is not met, it will stop, or we can manually break the loop when a certain condition is met. So you can see that it can add more functionality to our scripts. So that's it for this lecture on loops in Python. By using for and while loops, you can execute a block of code multiple times based on certain conditions. In the next video, we'll take a look deeper into loop control statements such as break, but also continue and pass. Thanks, see you there.